High-grade Universal Century Black TriStar Zaku 2. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, gundam.tk, and today I couldn't be more pleased bringing you this look at an old mobile suit with a long tradition stretching back decades. It's the Black TriStar's High Mobility Zaku 2 from Mobile Suits Variations. Early 2013 release. From Bandai, of course, and the price you can see here, 1,600 yen, and in the high-grade Universal Century line, this is number 151 MSV. And don't forget you can get this kit and lots more great stuff from the friendly folks at HobbyLink Japan, and there's full links down below. Now, in the very first Gundam anime, the order of debut for the bad guys is pretty simple, as we got to see the Zaku 2's backtrack to the Zaku 1, and then it was on, with goofs and domes and gelgoogs, oh my, with Char showing up, and amphibious mobile suits in between. However, we got to see the Black TriStars definitely made their mark, both in terms of depth and just in terms of coolness, as we got to see them with varying degrees of luck, as they took out the third generation of ground mobile suit to go and fight Amuro, and they have lived on in everybody's consciousness. But more importantly, it was the color scheme of the black and purple, which it makes sense if they were handed the newest mobile suits by Zeon that they had to come from somewhere. Because delving back into the 2010 Bible there, you can see the good guys and the progression of the bad guys down there, along with the very famous dome. And we got to see that in other sizes, like 1/60th. However, with Gundam getting cancelled and off the air, what was Bandai to do with plastic models? Well, this is where they came up with their tricks of doing both the real type recolors there, some cool stuff with the mechanic models, but then it was Mobile Suit Variations there, 1983 and 1984, where we got to see some familiar looking mobile suits, but just with some great changes to them. And then they started going and creating backstories there, like Johnny Ridden here in his Zaku 2, and then you can see that they've gone on with more Zaku's, prototype domes, various doms, and then they also introduced Shin Matsunaga, and we've also got Johnny Ridden here in 1/100th and 1/144th, but it's down here at the bottom that the one is going to catch the eye very much. After we've got the full armor there, and before Johnny Ridden, popular fellow, right there, it's the Zaku 2, and this is the Black TriStars version. You can see that that came out in October 1983, pretty early in the MSV line, and it sold for 2,500 yen, and it took the great color scheme from the domes and just applied it back to a high-mobility Zaku 2, and fans were enamored ever since. And its popularity continued, as with the Master Grade line kicking things off here. You can see that all the way back in 1999, when Master Grades were still fresh and new, that we got to see it with its familiar white feet there, black and purple up for the top. This came out here in June for 3,000 yen, and even better, the way they did this here is they released in May the Black TriStar's Zaku 1, because it makes sense that everybody's going to graduate 1, 2, and then move on to the better stuff, and it was only after that they released the dome in June, so fans of the Black TriStars had lots of choices here, and now even more in HGUC. With 2006 being a big year, with the dome coming out there, then the Zaku 1, and then after that, we also got a Zaku 1 here in high-grade Universal Century, but it's been a long wait, all the way up to 2013 to get a proper set if you want to go Zaku 1, 2 dome. And despite the popularity of the Black TriStars, this was never animated. However, it just feels like Bandai has done a very good job of building up a rich history there, and even though it's going to say MSV, this is one of the most believable and realistic ones, and especially when it's got cover art like that, you know it's going to sell to a lot of people. And why not? When it's going to be looking like this, you can see that it's going to have the white boots with the colors in all the right places. How much plastic, how much seals remains to be seen there. You can see that the purple is going to be broken up. It's going to be a very light purple there. Bazooka in hand, very familiar for TriStar fans. You can see they're also going to have some Zaku markings and all sorts of colors there on the back of the backpack. Story and development there, and some fantastic looking cover art before they're going to get into the stats. The one that I always like to look at, 17.5 meters for the head height. But more importantly, look at the silly things you can do with this. Action posing, you can recreate that there. Bazooka over there is going to go over the shoulder. We'll see how well that grip's going to work out in practice. You've got the gun in hand there. The mono eye is going to be moving. That's always a fantastic thing that they can scale it down to HGUC. And in terms of the other moving parts, like the shoulders here, you're going to be able to move the actual Zaku familiar shoulder pad off to the side. And you're also going to be getting some good movement down there, two parts moving for the knees, and even though there's going to be a bunch of thrusters there, hopefully they're going to be moving well around the ankles. As you are going to get lots of play options here with the Zaku Bazooka there. The Heat Hawk is going to be done purple and yellow, which is somewhat misleading. The Zaku machine gun there, not a beam rifle, but you are going to be able to take all those weapons and carefully slide them onto the shield. Hopefully you're not going to have any decal issues there. Different hand parts there, and marking seals, which is going to be all important. 06, 03, 02, so that you can take it and either do Ortega, Gaia, or MASH. Whichever one is your favorite, you can do that, or you know that Bandai's always going to tell you, go ahead and buy all three, and that's a scene that's going to be a lot of fun to recreate. We've already been able to do that with the HGUC dome set, where you're also going to be getting some extra effect parts here, but here they're going to look all fantastic, especially all deckled up. And ultimately, though it looks fantastic, the only knock against it is that Bandai's zooming out too much, so you're not really going to get an idea of what it looks like unpainted until you actually take it out of the box. And inside this great looking box, we are going to go where you're going to be treated to purple, white, black, and blue, it looks like there, to go along with some gray for the inner frame. Some very dark black there to go along with a lot of seals in white. You can see some more dark parts there to go along with the polycaps and the TriStar stuff with some blue. And yes, really, those colors, they look good no matter where they're printed. But after the excitement of unboxing it and you take a look at all these multi-colors on the A-plate, I'm just kidding. They've saved all the good stuff for the other plates here, which is sort of an old throwback here. For the A-plates here, you can see that they are going to have, all of them are going to be labeled MS06R Zaku 2 here, high grade 1/144th, of course. And you can see that because they are going to have some missing chunks here, that they've already got lots of Zaku variations in mind, which is exactly as they should be. Same things here, you can see that all of these parts here are detachable, if they ever so choose. But I think it's this B-plate here that is going to make old school MSV fans, TriStar fans, Dome fans, well, pretty much anybody just get a tear in their eye. Perhaps hyperbole, but nonetheless, this just looks fantastic. So you are going to have the 4 colors on here, although nothing really is going to break the bank in terms when you see the rest of the colors here. It is going to be matching what's about to come. But the purple down here is going to be a very understated purple there. I wonder exactly how similar it is to the new current Dome purple that's out under the new line of paints here from Bandai. But you can see that they can print these in all sorts of different colors here. Of course, the TriStars here, their most famous feature is going to be the white legs, if not the purple that's going to go around the rest of their body there. So you can see all the parts for those and the parts for the feet all nicely done up, but you know that they can do these up in the other colors in the future. And for the actual bottom of the feet and for the knee parts here, the covers, those are going to be done up in gray, and otherwise we have a nice navy blue there, which is going to look very, very cool for the backpack and for the sides of the shoulders. And here's the C1 plate, and I just want to show you that that matches the B plate there. You can see that you're going to have a huge corner down here omitted, and this is sort of funny because all they've got is the C2 plate down here. This is, again, just going to have the exact same label on it, but this is going to be matching the colors of the actual feet here from the B plate, which I really do want to go call the A plate, but otherwise it's the amount of details that are going to be put in here. First of all, the old Zaku shoulders here are looking pretty good with the spikes. You'll notice that these are not detachable, so you can plug in different colors there, or on these ones anyway, but of more interest is just going to be those high maneuverability jets down there that are going to be built into the legs. And for the heads here, you are going to have the choices of either just the regular one, or you can put in the proper commander's antenna here. They're going to be giving you the 2 choices there, parts for the front of the face, and the very familiar Zaku shield to throw over the shoulder. But I do have to laugh that here for the D plate, we're finally getting into some actual black parts here for the black TriStars. These parts are actually going to come across as being very glossy. You can see that they're very easy to move, which is good for this kind of piping. You could add some lining if you want, but either way, it's going to stand out from the other color grays that are going to be built in all over the kit, not to mention the nice white, blue, and purple. Yes, there's quite a cornucopia here of colors. And the big words continue here as the E plate is going to be having a different color gray from what you've already seen on the A plate, which is going to be much lighter there. For the insides, it is going to be matching up though with what we've seen on the other plates for the C2 and for the B. But more importantly, just look at the weapons that you're going to be getting here. All sorts of cool stuff from the bazookas to the old classic Zaku guns there. And most importantly, I think for a high maneuverability type, is that there's going to be thrusters all over the place. And you can see here that, of course, this could easily turn into an E variation or even an E2 if they wanted to go and super equip one of the future Zaku variations. But it seems like an opportunity was lost here, as forever and a day, Zakus have always been carrying ugly gray heat hawks here. It just seems like this was the actual chance, considering that it should be done up in purple, and with the B plate here, that at least the black TriStars, they could have printed another one down here in the corner, or something like that if they had wanted. It wouldn't work for the other high mobility Zakus. Nonetheless, they're not even going to bother to give you any seals here, so if you want to do this up, you're going to have to paint it in purple and then put on the yellow there. Otherwise, it's really just going to blend in when you add it to the weapons rack on the shield. The regular seals here are going to give you the mono eye as you'd expect, and otherwise you've got these large white parts here, 4 and 5. Those are going to provide the parts that they're going to go around the thrusters on the backpack there, and hopefully look pretty good there, considering that the white, which is already all over the lower part there, it really does stand out on the backpack there. So at least they're making some efforts here, and I don't think they could go plastic for just an HGUC, so this is better than nothing. But they've stepped up their game here for the Black TriStar's marking seals. You can see 020306 times tons, so you can put those all over the place to go along with the regular triangles and the gibberish there. But you're also going to have some cool looking marks there that you can put on to show the rank insignias and put the yellow part on the side of the shield there. So that's all looking very nice, and you can have your pick of various Zeon marks. So it's an absolute treat of an unbox there. Perhaps they could have delved a little bit more into the history, but I suppose it's all about now and adding to the collection of the Zaku 1 in the domes for your HGUCs. Anyway, everybody, stick around to see it stacked up next to Shin Matsunaga's here. Can't wait to see this, and the real question ultimately is going to be, will you want to pick up 3 of them? Anyway, everybody, please let me know what you think with a comment down below, and stick around for lots more Black TriStar action. See ya!
You can buy me in red, green, blue, and white.
But if you want to go for purple or Black TriStars, it's in your terms of service. You do have to buy 3.